Test, test. Is that better? Can you hear it on the mic now? Test, test. Test, test. I don't know if I can hear it or not. Yes? Oh, good. All right. So, for those of you who are joining us without the volume at home, I'm sorry, we got the volume now. So, all right. So, long, deep breath in and long, deep breath out. So, we can close our eyes. We can look at a focal point, whatever works for us to quiet our minds, to put ourselves in the present moment, to get out of our minds in the sense that we have to think our way through things, and put ourselves maybe more in our heart space where we can feel and be and allow. And as we enter our practice, we do so with no judgment or expectation, maybe just exploring, noticing, wondering what our bodies can do today. The goal is to stay connected mind, body, breath, and heart space throughout our practice. The poses just sort of distract us from keeping connected mind, body, breath, and heart space. So our goal is to remain that way. We don't have to be perfect in the pose. What we want to do is stay perfectly focused in the pose if possible. Remembering that we own this, so we may choose to modify, we may choose to do a pose or not do a pose. We might take it further, but we listen to our bodies, we allow. So as we continue to take those long breaths, we might become aware of maybe what our knees feel like. And if it feels like they're starting to lock and become rigid, just remembering to soften. Kind of plant our feet maybe deeper into our mat or deeper into where we're standing. And then just let our feet just relax and spread so our toes will spread apart. See if maybe we place our hand right on our belly. If we can feel as we inhale that filling up our diaphragm. And as we exhale, perhaps we can feel everything draw down and relax. So keeping that deep diaphragmatic breath, we're going to take our arms and inhale up and then exhale out. Let's do it again. Inhale. And as we exhale this time, softening our knees, placing our hands right on our thighs, we're going to move through our back so that we can get some heat there. So we'll exhale, draw our tailbone down, draw our gaze down. And then as we inhale, we'll lift our tailbone, lift our chin. Exhale, go ahead and round our back. Inhale, gaze up, tailbone up. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, lengthen. And as we round the back this time with our exhale, let's just hold for a moment. See if we can feel the entire length of the spine opening up. Keeping our knees soft, press the weight to our heels and inhale all the way up. Now this time as we exhale, let's go into the forward fold of our choice. So our hands may rest on our thighs, the shins, the feet, the floor. One thing to remember is if we're dizzy at all, we'll keep our hands here higher and our head up. So our hands are somewhere for support. Softening our knees, and with our inhale, go ahead, reverse swan dive all the way up. And then with our exhale, let's go ahead and come down again. Just kind of listening to the body, seeing where we need to place our hands for support. Again, soften the knees, inhale all the way up. And let's do our forward fold one more time. Just holding for a moment, just feeling perhaps some heat in the back of the legs and some length. Slight bend to our knees, inhale, and come all the way up. This time as we exhale, let's keep our right arm up, but bring our left hand down. We'll go ahead and lengthen up even higher through the fingertips. And then with our breath, just do a side lean position so that we feel our side body start to open just a little. Our long inhales, our long exhales, and then come on down. Inhale, and that left arm is up. So again, we're going to think about reaching it up, up, and then doing our slight lean. Long, deep inhales. Long, deep exhales. And now with the breath, let's bring that arm down. Let's inhale both arms up. And as we exhale, just those arms come down. And we're going to reposition our feet. We're going to do some heat building poses. So we're going to step wide. So we're going into our wide stance. Typically, if we have that mat, we'll have our feet off the mat because we want to make sure that as we bend our knees, they stay behind our toes. So if you want to do just a few sample bends into your legs, and just make sure that at the farthest point, that knee would still be behind the toe, okay? So let's inhale and sweep those arms up. And as we exhale, spread our fingers. Let's come bringing our elbows toward our rib cage into moonflower. And then using our own breath as a guide, just go ahead and keep moving through this. Creating heat because we're using our large muscles. No right or wrong rate to breathe in and to breathe out. But as you do breathe in and out, let's go ahead and create that movement. Abdominal muscles in strong. Seeing if we can keeping our chest open, bring those elbows back a little bit so our collarbones are smiling up towards the ceiling. And as we create that heat, let's go ahead and stay down this time. You can take the hands behind the head slightly if you want to. As we inhale, let's look up. This is our first sort of mild extension standing. So our gaze can go up if it's comfortable. Feel that chest and shoulders open. And now with the breath, bring those hands down, coming to our thighs, round our spine, come all the way up. And let's go into sunflower where we'll inhale our arms up. Thumbs meeting at the top, exhale coming down, pinkies meeting at the bottom. Inhale, thumbs meet, exhale, pinkies meet. So again, making that full circle with our arms this time, just a slight forward fold as we come down. This is sunflower, again, just to create some heat in the body. Hinging slightly at those hips. So we're getting a little bit more of the back of the hip, a lower spine involvement here. Breathing in, exhaling out, sweeping up. And now we'll go ahead and stay down. And we're going to go into our wide stance forward fold. So straightening our legs if it's comfortable, turning the toes forward if that's better for us. Hands again, thighs, shins, feet, or floor. If we're dizzy, we're going to stay up here, right? If we're dizzy, head above that heart. So as we exhale, let's sink and drop our chest right towards those thighs. Long inhales and exhales. Now with the breath, hands can either stay on the floor, they can come up to the leg. We're going to lean slightly to the right. We want to keep the knee behind the toe, but what we'll feel here is maybe our inner thigh opening. So if our hands are up here, that's fine. If we're up here, that's fine. If we're down here, that's fine. But we want to feel that inner thigh release. And now with the breath, let's go ahead and lean a little bit the other direction. And again, noticing perhaps that right inner thigh opening. Remember, our hands can be up. They can be on whatever we're supporting ourselves with. And let's come back to the center, hands on both thighs. Let's round all the way up. Roll those shoulders back and down, and we'll go ahead and come in toe to heel, toe to heel, toe to heel, until we find ourselves back in our mountain pose. And back into mountain pose, we'll just notice that those feet are right underneath our hips. Abs in strong. Zipping up from the belly button to the rib cage, rolling those shoulder blades down and back. Inhale up. As we exhale this time, let's bring our hands around in the front. We can decide if we want to have our fingers together, if we want to have our hands crossed, but we're going to separate our shoulder blades, soften our knees, tuck our chin, and just really open through the upper back. So the muscles between the shoulder blades open. Long inhales and long exhales. And now with that breath, go ahead and bring them down. Roll the shoulders back again. Let's drop our chin to our chest. Let's inhale and bring our gaze up. Let's exhale and take that right ear to the right shoulder. And inhale, head up. Exhale, other ear, other shoulder. And then inhale, head up. Let's go ahead and drop the ear toward the shoulder. And then nose to the shoulder, and let's hold that for a moment. So we feel maybe that nice release in the left side of our trapezius, our neck. Inhale, head up. Exhale, dropping left ear to left shoulder. And now it's the release on the right side of the body, the neck, and nose to shoulder. So we're still feeling that breath moving through us. That's what we want to stay connected to. And now go ahead with our next breath. Take the gaze to neutral. Let's go ahead and inhale with our right arm up. Exhale, left arm meets it. We can take our fingers, our first fingers, and point them upwards if we like. Soften our knees. Let's draw our arms back a little bit more toward our ears, but keep our knees bent. And then take that gaze right with it if we like. So what we want to avoid is doing this. We want to have soft knees, gaze up, so that our extension is coming from our torso. And now option, the hands behind the head. Go ahead and take it a little deeper if we want to. Extension. So really opening through the chest, through the rib cage. Kind of letting gravity help us drop back a little bit. And with the breath, gaze to neutral, arms come down. We might need our chair handy for balance on this one. So make sure you either move or move your chair towards you if you need to. Let's take a big stride back with our right foot. Big stride. So probably further than we think we need. And again, the reason why is we want to protect that front knee. We want it to always stay behind our toe. So on our back foot, which is our right foot, heel comes up. As we exhale, let's drop our knee down. And then now with the breath, tip our pelvis back. So what we have going on here is lengthening, not only in the front of the hip, but also in the quadricep. So we can stay here, or we can go into dancer. So if we know what dancer is, we can pick that back foot up, grab it, but remember, we don't have to, right? This is dancer, but this is also a good substitute. So if we want to, we can take our arms up, or we can leave them right where they are. As we exhale, is an opportunity to perhaps go deeper into the pose. Gaze can stay neutral, or it can go upwards. And now with the breath, the hands can come down. We're going to settle that back heel down onto the mat or to the floor, and turn the toes out slightly to our comfort. That front leg wants to stay forward. If we looked from our heel to our heel, there would be a fairly straight line, okay? So now with the breath, go ahead and push forward gently into that front leg, coming up into Warrior One. So we're pushing forward. We want to make sure this knee is behind the toe, though. So we want to have maybe a wider space between our front and our back foot, because we don't want to be here, right? We want to be able to pick up those front toes. And now with our breath, straighten our leg and come back. Inhale and sweep. Again, our arms can be up, down, whatever we need. We can be hanging on to whatever we need to support us. And straighten and come down. And again, inhale up. As we exhale this time, let's go ahead and take our left arm forward and our right arm back. Our hips are going to open probably a little bit more to the side, and we're going to just reach. Gaze over our front fingertips. Now with our breath, let's go ahead and come out a little further over our fingertips, bringing it down. We can keep this leg bent and put our elbow on our thigh, or we can straighten the leg and come down. That upper arm can stay straight, or it can bend, whatever we need. Our expression of angle here. Long breath in and long breath out. And with our breath, let's go ahead and come up. We're going to go right into reverse warrior. So taking our left arm up, maybe gazing up toward it, taking the right arm down, and just going ahead and leaning back. Just allowing the extension to happen. So we have a long inhale, long exhale. So as we come out of the pose, let's take our gaze and follow the hand. With the breath, we're going to try to pick up our back knee. Now we can hang on if we need, right? We can hang on. Long inhales and exhales. Nice. Let's cross the leg and let's ease back. So what we're going to feel here probably is the side and back of our hip opening. We've got a nice opening in our chest. Our rib cage stays rolled back. Natural curves in our spine. So it's that piriformis, that gluteus medius that get an opportunity to open. Long inhales, long exhales. And now with our breath, let's just gently come out. Let's uncross the legs. And go ahead maybe and just wiggle side to side a little bit and just release from that deep hold. Stay in your wiggle. I'm going to turn the music up just a little bit. I don't think we can hear it at all. Can you guys hear it at all? Yeah. So go ahead, take your long inhales and exhales. Is that better? Can you guys hear it better? A little bit? No? Yes? Better? Okay. If it gets too loud, let me know. We feel like we have a ghost in the machine lately, so it kind of does what it wants to do. It's got its own little attitude, which I think is just fine. Okay, inhale up. Just those arms, exhale down. And again, inhale up. Just those arms, exhale down. So now we've got the other leg to deal with. So as we take a deep breath this time, it's our left foot that's going to take a really big step back. Probably bigger than we might think we need to. Really big step back, right? Yeah? What happens with that back heel? It lifts up. With our breath, the knee comes down, and then we tip our pelvis back. So again, we're looking to open the front of our hip, our quadricep, right? The front foot, we ought to be able to pick up our toes because we want to make sure that knee is safe, that it's behind there. Now, our arms can stay as is. They can come to the side. They can come up, whatever we choose. And remember our option of dancer. We don't have to do it, but if we would decide to go into dancer, it would be like this, and then a tip option. So again, either way, same muscles open. Now with the breath, arms come down. Let's take that back foot and let that heel settle down. Those toes rotate open. And with our breath, let's push forward and sweep up into warrior one. Making sure again that those front toes are able to lift up, right? And now with our breath, straighten our leg, coming on down with those arms. And then inhale, sweep up again. And then exhale down. Couple more times. And if we notice our heel to heel alignment there on both feet is probably a straight line or fairly close. Inhale up. This time as we exhale, let's go ahead and take that right arm forward, our left arm back. Let's let our hips open to the side just a little bit more. And then take our gaze maybe right over those front fingertips. So we're really feeling grounded into that forward leg. Now with the breath, let's go ahead and reach even further out over those front fingertips and go ahead and come down into our version of angle. So we've said we can keep our knee bent, keep that arm on the thigh, or we can straighten our arm, straighten our leg and come down. Top arm, whatever we choose. Gently push back through our hips. Long inhales and exhales. And again, we need to honor what our body says today. Remember that the poses are just challenging our ability to stay connected, mind, body, breath, and heart space. And now with the breath, let's go ahead and come on up. Let's take that right arm up. Gaze follows it to the ceiling. Left arm can be on our thigh. This is reverse warrior. So again, getting that nice lengthened, extended feeling up through the torso. Now with our exhale, let's kind of follow the hand down with our gaze and then gently pick up that back leg and hold. And we might have one side that actually was easier than the other side, or maybe because we knew it was coming, it was easier. But balance is always one of those things we just want to notice. We don't judge, we just notice it. Is our right side better today, our left side better today? And now with the breath, we cross over, abs in strong, and let's sit back. So what we want to do here is keep our spine neutral, allowing that stretch to happen in the side and back of our hip. Exhales are opportunities to perhaps go deeper. And now with the breath, let's come up, let's uncross our legs, and again, just ease out from side to side. We do that hold on one side. Sometimes we just want to shake that out a little bit, and then regroup ourselves, core muscles, let our feet activate, and come back to our mountain pose. So again, we might want our chair handy. We're going to be doing some mini squats down, which we call a chair pose, and coming up with some balance challenge. So inhale, bringing those arms up. As we exhale, we can sit right back into chair pose. Remember, we have options with our arms. Use your inhale to come up. Use your exhale to come down. So our arms can stay here. They can travel with us. They can come in towards the heart. And breath again. I like to bring mine in towards the heart. But please do whatever version works for you. As we let our hips sink down, we always notice that our toes can lift up because we want to make sure knees are safe. We push the weight gently back to our heels. As we move through this pose, we can keep that head above our heart. We can modify how far we sink down. But we do want to keep our chest open, chin up, eyes up. Long inhales, long exhales. This time as we come down, let's hold. And then with our next breath, let's go ahead and turn. Get a slight twist. And maybe just feel in our body what might feel different as we add the twist. Then inhale, center, and then exhale the other direction. Long breath in and long breath out. Let's come back to the center. Inhale all the way up. As we exhale, let's sit back. This time as we inhale, let's go ahead and pop our right knee up. As we exhale, we'll sit back. And with our next inhale, it's our left knee that will come up. And again, it's okay to use our own pattern of breath as a guide for the rate in which we move. Right knee up this time. Left knee up this time. And sitting back. Just allowing our body to move through that range of motion. We can look at a focal point on the floor or out on the wall in front of us, and that kind of helps us balance. But again, remembering some days may just be better than other days. Let's leave our leg up this time. Our hands can come down, they can be out, they can hang on, but let's straighten and bend. Straighten and bend. Let's do it a couple more times. Good. We're going to leave it bent. We're going to touch it down, side, side, and back. Front, side, side, and back. So think about a clock and hit some digits. Good. Allowing the hip to do what? Move through its range of motion. What's our core doing? Holding tight. One more. Good. Now let's pick the knee up. To go the opposite direction, let's do this with the knee up. Using our breath as a guide for the motion. And again, just allowing that hip to move through its range of motion. Of course, it is also balance. Let's straighten our leg. Let's take it out, out, down, down, out, out, down, and down. We can hang on if we need. Arms to the side if we need. Singles out. Exhaling. Breathing out. Nice. Now we'll go ahead and take that leg behind us. Tip forward at our hip line. Lengthen from the top of our head to the tips of our toes. Our expression of Warrior 3. We can hang on. We can have our hands on our thighs. But create some length in our spine here. Long inhales and exhales. And now with our breath, we'll go ahead and step down softly and then just release from side to side. Nice. So we're going to do the other side. We'll start with our squat and we'll do a knee lift left, squat, knee lift right. We'll alternate a little bit. If you feel like you need to move on the other side of your chair or change anything about where you have your support and balance, that's just fine. You can move your chair, whatever you need. So once we've found our nice strong mountain pose, let's inhale, arms up. Let's sit back into that squat or chair pose. So this time it's our left knee first. Inhale up. And exhale back. With our inhale, right knee up. And with our exhale, it comes back. And again, no right or wrong rate of movement. Focal point helps if we can look at one. And this time when we come up, let's leave that leg up. So arms can be out, they can hang on, we can straighten and bend. And if we go to seated, we're welcome to do the same leg motion, seated. Using our breath again to maybe guide our rate of movement. All right, so we're going to leave it down and we're going to tap the floor. So we'll go in front, couple to the side, and then back. 12, maybe 2, maybe 4, and 6. And just notice, maybe one hip a little more eager to move in the range of motion than the other. Over time with our practice, they should even out a little bit. One more time through. Now, to come the opposite direction today, let's bend our knee and let's circle the other way. So circle it around. Circle it around. Exhale. Nice. Very good. We can go ahead now and straighten our leg. We're going to go out to the side for 2. Let's go out, out, down, down. In the chair, we can do it with our knee bent, like that. And slide, slide to the edge if you want to. Yeah, good. Out, out. Singles. Out, out. Try to relax the foot of that support leg. Excellent. So now we're going to take the leg behind us, tip forward at our hip line, and go into our expression of Warrior 3. So in the chair, what we want to do is lift up here, and then just take our leg behind us. There you go. Perfect. Think about lengthening up through the spine. Long inhales. Long exhales. And now with our breath, just ease ourselves back and find ourselves once again in our nice strong mountain pose. And we can just wiggle from side to side. We've done a lot standing, a lot of balance challenge today, a lot of work. So inhale just those arms up. Exhale just those arms down. So what we're going to do is we're going to take ourselves down onto our mat or down to seated. And again, any way that you want to come down to seated is fine. If you want to work with me, we can do the forward fold and come down that way. So our choice. Okay, so inhale up. As we exhale, we come into our forward fold. Our hands can go to thighs, shins, feet, or floor. Now, if our hands aren't reaching the floor, what we can do is bend our knees till we get there. Come down to knee, and then sweep right around to seated. So, in seated posture, we can be on our chair or we can be on the mat. And what's important here is that we lift up and out of our sits bones. It's not necessarily important that our legs are straight, because if that ends up making us rock back, we're better off keeping our knees bent and our hips forward, right? Because we want to have that 45-degree angle here. So if we need to bend our knees to do it, that's where we'll be, right? Okay. So, however our knees go, fine with us, right? So inhale, arms up. As we exhale, let's come forward And let our hands come down with us. Push the weight to our hips. Let's visualize the breath at the very bottom of our spine. And as we exhale and come forward, we can visualize that breath traveling up the back, between the shoulder blades, to the neck, and then out the crown of the head. And with our next inhale, let's come up. We're going to go into butterfly, So we're going to have the bottoms of our feet together. Our knees drop out. Long inhales and exhales. What's important here is that we stay up on our sits bones. If we're in our chair, the goal here is to open our inner thighs. So we're going to have our heels together. We can decide how far on the edge of that chair we want to be. And then we just want to let our knees open and let that nice opening in our adductors, our inner thighs, happen. So our hands can either stay down, and if we're seated, we can have our elbows and gently push our thighs open, right? Not on our knees, but on our thighs. Or we might just choose to stay lifted and back. But our butterfly pose, we get a nice opportunity to open. Now with the breath, let's go ahead and bring them back to center. If we're seated, we're going to have our knees bent like this. Now, we're going to take one leg, straighten it out, the other leg cross over. So if we're seated, this is how it's going to be. In our chair, we'll keep both knees bent. What we want to do is take this knee and draw it towards our opposite shoulder. So the knee comes towards that opposite shoulder. We're going to stay here. We're going to lift tall, draw it in, and find that nice stretch in the side and back of our hips. So we want to feel, is it open here? Long inhales, long exhales. Over the shoulders, think about our belly. Inhale, and as we exhale, our belly button will turn, then our rib cage, then our chest, then our chin, then our eyes. We can add that rotation to the pose. And now with the breath, let's go ahead and come out, uncrossing the leg, and then maybe just lifting our hips up from side to side, just kind of finding again our sits bones. So now if we're seated on the mat, we can have our right leg extend, okay? If we're in our chair, we'll keep them both bent. So we'll go ahead and we'll cross this leg over. It fell off, so I don't know what happened, honestly. It's green for me, but can you hear it again? So cross the leg, stay tall, knee to opposite shoulder. Hug it in and get a nice release. Okay. So we want to feel the piriformis, the gluteus medius, open. Long inhales, long exhales. Just breathe and hold. Now, if we care to, we can go ahead and add the look over the shoulder. So think about from the belly button, then the rib cage, then the chest, chin and eyes, looking over that shoulder. And then with our breath, let's come out of it, coming right back to center, uncrossing our legs, and then just lifting up gently side to side. So now with our breath, we're going to take our hands behind us, fingers are forward. Inhale, lift tall from the belly button to the top of the head. As we exhale, bending gently into our arms, dropping back. So we get to choose our expression of the pose today. We might decide to leave our legs down. We might decide to pick one up. We might decide to pick the other one up. We might decide to lift an arm or not. Okay, so our choice. We can straighten the legs. We can leave them as they are. So if we're in our chair, we're probably not going to take the arms. We can take the legs, though, if we want to. So you guys stay as you are, your expression of the pose. If we're in our chair, we can have our hands back. We can have them up, whatever we need. Long breath in and long breath out. So again, remember the poses. What do? They distract us from remembering to breathe, to stay in the present moment. And now with the breath, let's put our feet down. Let's walk our hips toward our heels. Let's hug in, tuck our chin, and just gently rock from side to side. Just massaging those hips against the mat. Just releasing. Long inhales, long exhales. So with our next breath, let's inhale and bring our head up. Let's take our hands back again. So we're going to do the same pose, but we're going to also maybe add a movement to it. So if we're on our mat, our fingers are forward. If we're on our chair, we can have our hands here. We're going to bend our knees. We can lean back with our torso. Let those muscles click on in our core. Option to pick up a leg, pick up two legs. Option with our arms, whatever we choose. From here, if we want now, we can take it in and bring it out. Take it in and breathe it out. So we want to stay connected. Mind, body, breath, heart space. And then go ahead once again, bring our feet down. Let's walk our hips towards our heels. Tuck our chin. Gently rock from side to side. So get those long, deep breaths in. Long, deep breaths out. Just massaging those hips against the mat. And with our next breath, let's go ahead and bring our gaze up. We're going to take our legs out. We're going to, again, if we need to leave them slightly bent, that's just fine. We're going to roll our shoulders back. We'll inhale and bring our right arm straight up. Remember, if we have our knees bent, that's fine. Opposite arm down or on the thigh. If we're seated, we can put it on the hand of our chair. So reach up even taller. Now this time with our exhale, let's do side lean again. And maybe something we might notice is, does it feel different than it did when we were standing? So again, the goal is to increase the space between the hip and rib cage. And with the breath, let's bring that arm down. Inhale, and let's take that left arm up. Really, really want to reach up. And remember, it's okay if we have our knees bent. We want to stay tall in our torso. Now with our breath, let's just lean. So we're going to keep that hip down, but we want to open this space. So have that long inhale, that long exhale. Nice. And let's go ahead and bring it down. Let's roll our shoulders. Exaggerate the lift up. Back down and around. Now, as we come around this time, let's really leave our shoulders down. Let's really keep our shoulder blades back and down. As we breathe, we might decide to leave our legs straight or keep them bent, but what we're going to do is stay lifted tall, shoulder blades down. We're just going to take the peak over our right shoulder. So without the leg this time, just start to move ourselves into the position to really look over our shoulder. Our right arm can be behind us towards our spine, supporting. And as we exhale, we might determine to look over that shoulder just a little bit more. Can we open that torso maybe just a little bit more? Now with our breath, let's come back to center. And we're going to sort of take ourselves the other direction. Let's find our spine first, nice and long. With our breath now, let's maybe put our left hand down. Start to just look and walk over that left shoulder this time. So we're staying really tall in our torso. And again, maybe just noticing, how does this feel different than when we were standing and doing the twist, maybe in the squat pose? What opens, what might resist opening, and as we exhale, are we able to let go of that resistance? Maybe one side of our body opens just a little different than the other one. And then with our breath, let's just ease ourselves back. And perhaps we feel maybe our spine open just a slight bit different than it was before. Long breath in and long breath out. What we're going to do is take ourselves all the way down to a place where we're laying down on our mat. We're going to bridge, and if we're not sure what the bridge is, I'll show you before you go down. Our bridge will have us coming up. Remember that we should be able to move our neck side to side. We're also going to be doing stretches, okay? So, do you want to stay seated or do you want to come down? Stay seated, okay. So, go ahead and just ease ourselves down. Knees are bent. What we want to do is inhale, brace our abdominal muscles. Exhale, hold the brace. This time as we inhale, we're going to let our pelvis lift and rise up. So if we're in our chair, we're going to do this. If we can lift our torso, we can actually come up a little if we want to, or we can keep our hips down. But what we want to do is chest open, lift up, squeezing everything in the back of the body. So in our bridge pose, it's a perfect opportunity to open the front of the body, but squeeze everything in the back of the body. Now with our breath, let's just ease it down and let our spine just gently melt back down onto the mat or into the chair. Long breath in, long breath out, and we're going to do it again. So let's inhale and brace our abdominal muscles. Let's exhale but keep the brace. This time on our inhale, let's go ahead and slowly peel the back of our body towards the ceiling. So again, whether our hips stay down or whether they come up, that's our choice. Just allow the bridge to happen. See if we can breathe in the pose. See if we can feel the back of that body squeezing, the front of the body opening. Now with the breath, let's just ease back down, just melting our low back and our hips all the way down onto the mat. Nice. With our next breath, we're going to bring our right knee into our chest. If we're on our mat, the left leg can straighten out. If we're in our chair, it can stay bent. So the right knee just pulls up right into our chest. Long inhale, long exhale. So if we're on our mat, that opposite leg can straighten. Now with the breath, bring it down. With our next inhale, our left knee up into our chest. Long breath in, long breath out. So we might feel this releasing the back of our hip. Now let's draw both knees up. Stretch out our spine. So if we're on our chair, we have a couple choices. If we fit, we can slide back and put our feet here. If not, we can stay here, hug and wrap. So we've got lots of choices to stretch our back seated. It just depends on where our hips are, where we fit in the chair. I'm short, so I can slide all the way back and put my heels up. But that doesn't always mean everybody can. So as we release that lower back, long inhales, long exhales. So if we're on the mat, we're going to bring our feet back down, knees stay bent, arms are going to come out, shoulders dropping down. Inhale, and as we exhale, both knees drop to the right. Side and back of those hips open. Long inhale, long exhale. So if we're in our chair seated, we're just going to take and drop one direction. So again, if we can slide our hips towards the end of our chair, it'll give us a little more option. Our hands can be down or they can be on the arms of the chair. With our breath, bringing it center, inhale. And as we exhale, let's go ahead and drop them the other direction. So again, it's that nice opening spine, hips, and torso. Not forcing, but just allowing as we exhale, perhaps for a deeper stretch. And as we inhale, let's come back to the center. Let's take our right leg up and straighten it. Hands can come behind and draw it in toward us. to get a nice stretch into our hamstring. If we're on our chair, we can have our hips slide out. We take our leg out and drop forward. So we get a nice stretch into the back of our leg. So exhales may be opportunities to go even deeper with that stretch. Now, let's bend the other leg that's not stretching. Foot goes down. Let's cross over the stretching leg. If you're on your mat, pick up the bottom foot, draw it in towards you, and stretch. If we're on our chair, we can do it that way, or we can just come out and drop down. So again, this is the side and back of our hip joint opening. Long inhale and exhale. We can use our arms to assist the stretch if we like. We can point our toe. I use my hand to actually point my toe. It's a little more specific to the piriformis there. Now with that breath, let's ease out. Let's uncross the legs. And we'll do the other side. So now with our breath, let's go ahead and take our left knee up if we're lying on our mat. Straightening that leg as much as we can. If we're lying on our mat, straighten out that leg. If we're in our chair, let's take it out. We can be on the edge of our chair and lean forward. So now we have opportunity as we exhale to perhaps go deeper into the stretch. Again, never forcing, just allowing our body to open if it's able to. And now with our breath, let's cross that leg over. Remember the other leg, you want to bend the knee first and then pick it up, draw it in towards you. You can use your hands to help draw it in even further if you like. Finding that nice release in the piriformis and the gluteus medius. Long inhales, long exhales. Again, if we decide to kind of point our toe or use our hand to help point the toe, we might feel that more specifically into those piriformis muscles. Doing what's absolutely best for us today. And now with our breath, we'll go into our final back stretch. So again, you can have your hands underneath your knees if you want to. Circle the feet slow and easy while they're not weight bearing. Remember our options in the chair to slide all the way back, put our feet up, or slide all the way the hips to the edge and then bend over and stretch our back. Either one. But just circle the feet slow and easy while they're not weight bearing. And then we're going to bring it down going into our final relaxation pose. If we're seated in our chair, getting into what is very comfortable for us seated, we're going to close our eyes. Remember, if you're on your mat, if lying down and having our hands in towards our body is not comfortable, please find what is. So again, in our chair, seated to whatever is most comfortable for us. So we take long, deep breaths in and long, deep breaths out. Eyes are closed. Our goal is to just relax. So we might start by just becoming very aware of the breath. And then perhaps exhaling out just a little more completely than we did the time before. And then inhaling very slowly and deliberately. It's really relaxing. And with our eyes remaining closed, let's put our awareness into our hands and our feet and the fingers and toes. The next time that we inhale and that we exhale, let's release all last bits of energy out of our hands, our feet, our fingers and toes. As we keep into our long, deep flowing breaths, our mind's awareness can drift into our arms and legs. And the next time that we inhale and that we exhale, all last remaining bits of energy in our arms and legs can just release. With those eyes still remaining closed, as we inhale and exhale next, let's bring our mind's awareness to the backs of the hips, the shoulder blades, the back of the head. Inhale, and as we exhale, each part of our body that touches the mat or the chair just completely relaxes down, melting into the surface. Continuing our long, deep breaths, our mind's awareness can go to the muscles in the face and the mouth and jaw. The next time that we inhale and exhale, we can relax our forehead down. Let our eyes draw gently down and back. And with our next exhale, we can let our lips part open just a little. We can let our lower jaw drop down slightly. Release the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Continue to breathe. Continue to relax. those eyes remaining closed, the next time you inhale and exhale, if you're lying on your mat, turn onto one side in a curled up side lying position. If we're seated in our chair, we can stay as is. Eyes still closed. With our next inhale, if we're on our mat, let's come up into a comfortable seated position for us. Hands can rest on the thighs with the palms up. If we're seated in our chair, our hands can go to our thighs, palms up. We can drop our chin to our chest. Our eyes are still closed. Long inhales and exhales. The next time that we inhale, we can let our gaze lift and rise. As we exhale, we can open our eyes slowly but keep a soft inward focus. Our hands can come in close to our heart. Our chin can drop to our chest. Namaste, and you are done. Good job. Thank you. Sorry about all the literally mic drops. It wasn't like that mic drop. It was like this mic drop. So I'm sorry. No, that was distracting. I'm sorry.